Let's see what the sign says. All water activities not advised due to flood levels. We're at Mckinney Falls State Park. This is the park in which I frequent the most because it's the closest to me. I'm usually out here at least once a week to get my steps in, and I usually do the northern trails up here, but to get to those you got to go across the lower falls, which currently are probably pretty high. So today we're probably going to do the southern loop down here. This is where your lower falls is, and around here is the upper falls. But I wanted to come out here to see just how high the water's gotten with all the recent rain. On my last adventure, I didn't film it, but I almost fell crossing a creek out at Pedernales, and I caught myself before I fell, but in the catching myself with the pack that I was wearing, with the weight that I had in it, I tweaked my back a little bit. So all this week I've been dealing with the ramifications of a shitty old body, and so today I wanted to do a quick little gallivant, if only to work out my back a little bit, in hopes that it heals, because it's been rather unpleasant. Made it to the lunar surface, and you can see right along here a very well-worn trail. This, to my understanding, this little section was part of the Camino Real Trail, one of the earliest thoroughfares coming up from Mexico and into and across Texas. So people have been out here for a very long time, and this has been a main road of transit going pretty far back. But I mainly wanted to come down here to see, being on this rock in the heat, I feel like I'm walking across a friggin' skillet or a griddle. It's a little warm. Today's heat advisory. I think the high is like 95 or 96, but it feels much higher than that, and it's hot as hell, hotter than blazes. Water's pretty high, but I saw a video from Monday where I think the water was coming up to pretty much right around here. So this whole thing was just a wall of water it's gone back down to the normal high levels, because normally in the summer, most of the year, the water level is substantially lower than even this. But it's been pretty high for the past month. I've had to cross up here, whereas under normal circumstances it's better to cross closer to the edge here. But typically you cross right around here, and the northern trails start back over on the other side. This whole deposit right here of sediment, brand new. That is normally not there. Wow. Whew. I think this is the area that they filmed the movie Predators at when they first crash land on the Predator planet. With Adrian Brody and that dude from that 70s show. Forget who all else is in it. So many great little rock formations. All the water carving its way through. Unfortunately, because of all of the rains and flooding, there's quite a bit of garbage. Ooh. That's looking up Onion Creek. That's why it's important not to litter. Ooh, there we go. A little bit of a breeze going. I don't reckon I'm gonna see a lot of people. It's pretty dang miserable out here. Very hot, very bright. I'm already tired from working all day. Even this dude's like, it's so hot, I'm not gonna run away from this guy. Feeling lethargic. Me too. We're looking down at Onion Creek. Ugh. Definitely a little worried about my back. I wanted to do some sort of exercise because I've been pretty immobile for the past 4 or 5 days. We're in the time of year where water becomes very important. I mean, it's always important, but without it out here, you're gonna have a bad day. In fact, even with water, you're probably gonna have a bad day. We have our first feature. Home sweet home. Nature built this house. What created this rock shelter? Simply put, water. First, Onion Creek carved its channel, leaving high walls. Next, a spring emerged from the limestone ledge. This spring slowly eroded the rock, leaving the overhang you see today. Finally, floodwaters dropped debris inside the shelter. This created the floor and covered archaeological remains. Prehistoric people used landscape features like the Smith Rock Shelter as temporary homes, returning here year after year. As they made their way along seasonal routes following the availability of resources, they knew just where to find food, shelter, and water. When natural shelters were not available, they made smaller temporary shelters from natural materials. Go check it out. Well, there you have it. Bird keeps flittering by. It's at least a little cooler in here. I think that trail, if you follow it long enough, spits you back out where we were just a minute ago. I think the heat has what animals I am seeing pretty exhausted. None of the creatures are moving as quickly as they usually do, myself included. I've never seen any daddy longlegs on the roof of this rock shelter, unlike the one at Mother Neff. But I think there are a few of these at different state parks. Old geological features that were used as shelters. A little worried about snakes. I've only seen one snake out here at Mckinney Falls, but that snake was a diamondback rattlesnake, and it was a big one. Oh, geez. Little muddy. Little muddy. Life in bondage. The hands that built these walls helped form the foundation of Austin's black community. Theirs is a story of perseverance still alive in Austin today. King Cotton. Most of the original Anglo-American inhabitants of Texas came for the abundant fertile farmland. Coming mostly from the southern United States, these settlers knew how to make a living from cash crops like cotton. A quarter of these early immigrants ignored the Mexican law that abolished slavery. By 1836, over 5,000 slaves had been brought to Mexican Texas. Against the wishes of the Mexican government, wealthy southern immigrants like the McKinleys brought the institution of slavery to Texas. A legacy lost in time. Who were they? Few details exist about the enslaved people that live here. Some information like names, relationships, and ages survive in transaction records. Often enslaved families like Alakumbo, his wife Ebo, and their 4 children were able to stay together. Others, like Sini and her 9-year-old son Dan, were not so lucky. Some enslaved people became critical to the horse breeding operation, like Daniel Alexander. After Juneteenth, newly freed Daniel Alexander bought land nearby and founded his own ranch. That's Daniel Alexander. His descendants, including his son Moses, seen here with his wife. Oh no, okay, so that's his son. Daniel Alexander's son and his wife. His son Moses bred horses for generations. Built on their backs. What's a wall? In the most literal sense, it is a boundary that separates 2 things, like different types of livestock. That was the original purposes of the wall in front of you. These walls were also symbols. Built by enslaved people, they remain a symbol of the barriers Austin's black community have endured. A story of survival. Tenant farmer Sol Shaw poses in front of the stone walls in 1943. This is right at the front of the park, right by the headquarters, which is back over that way. Happy Juneteenth. This loop that goes around the southern part of Mckinney Falls is paved, which makes it popular with the bicyclists, and it kind of goes around the several campsites that dot along the southern part of the park. And the last time I was out here, was it a week ago? I saw another painted bunting fly up out of the shrubbery here. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a good picture of it, but that's the first time I've seen a painted bunting in that close of a vicinity to Austin proper. I have to pardon me, the conversation may start drying up on account of the fact that I'm fighting for my life in this absolutely sweltering, humid pit. You can hear the freeway right outside. I was gonna do the Armadillo Trail, which is a little dirt trail that offshoots this cycling trail, but it's so miserable. I think today I'm gonna skip it. I'm tired. Yeah, I look like a female cardinal or a house finch. Slowly getting better at identifying. Well, I'm torn. I know I just said I wasn't going to do the Armadillo Trail. However, if we're going to see any deer, our best bet is probably on the Armadillo Trail. Considering how miserable it is out here, I doubt a lot of people have walked that trail. It also gets very muddy. So, do I want to torture myself? It's the Armadillo Trail. Yeah, we'll torture ourselves. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing as painfully as humanly possible. I can feel the waves of heat coming off the plants and the soil that all the moisture is evaporating out of. It's like a friggin' sauna, or like a greenhouse. I'm gonna be a little quiet because if we're gonna spot any deer, it's probably gonna be in the next stretch of trail. Fingers crossed. Oh darn, I was really hoping to find a deer for you. Well, no deer and no armadillo on the Armadillo Trail. We're crossing the bike trail again. What's the name of it? It's the Onion Creek Hike and Bike Trail. But I think what we'll do is we'll cut across on the Cactus Garden Trail, and I can show you the prickly, spiky, thorny cactus garden, which the Armadillo Trail and the Cactus Garden Trail get really muddy if it's wet or has rained heavily. So be forewarned if you ever find your way out here. I've seen hawks out this way too, but I've never been able to photograph one well in this part of the park. Cool tree. I call it the rhinoceros tree because I don't know, when I look at it, it reminds me of a rhinoceros. What the fuck is this thing? What are you? What are you? It looks like a moocow beetle. Huh. What a strange little bug for a strange big tree. This goes against my religion. Did I mention it's hot? I do these trips by myself, mainly because I'm annoying as fuck. Alright, let's go check out the water. White water bird over there. Either a egret or a... What the hell's the other one? It's cranes, egrets. It's like trying to remember biology while you're heat stroking out. Cranes, egrets. Fuck, what's the other one? Egrets, cranes. Oh, god damn it. It's another long-necked, lanky-ass water bird. Egret, cranes. Egrets. cranes, and I can't remember. Made it to the upper falls. Pretty dang deep. Huh. Alright. Little visitor center. Oh. Well, there's a wildflower field and some parking. I'm about out of gas. Might be out of sweat too. But a little ways to go yet. And save the best for last. We're gonna take a little diversion to go see a good friend of mine. This right here is Old Baldy, and he's my friend. Let's go read about him. Old Baldy has the auspicious title of 2012 Tree of the Year. Austin's Tree of the Year program promotes proper tree selection, care, and placement through the recognition of superior trees. These trees are top shelf. These trees provide Austin inhabitants with social, ecological, and economic benefits. This bald cypress tree, nicknamed Old Baldy, stands with overarching branches and a regal stature. You hear that? They called you regal. Called the wood eternal due to its resistance to decay, the bald cypress was once heavily harvested for lumber. This tree was spared from the woodsman's axe and stands today, hundreds of years old, and as a witness to many changes along Onion Creek. Whoa, it's a great big old tree. It'll block out the sun. Whew. Well, I'm gonna have to go home and take a shower, because your boy's a little damp. Bye, Baldy.